Hey everyone! Today we'll be talking about how the role of wealth played in The Great Gatsby. The 1920s were commonly known as the Roaring Twenties, or in other words, the Jazz Age. It was a prosperous time period in which the economy flourished. This time period brought about new social, economical, and political changes. The decade featured extravagant economic prosperity as well as a change in women's attitude. Some became flappers and went against the traditional women's stereotype by cutting their hair short and expressing themselves freely and less modestly. It was an era where parties, movies, and drinking were becoming largely popular. This booming era sought new changes in lifestyle and changed the outlooks of how many Americans viewed each other.
In The Great Gatsby, Fitzgerald displays the era of economic prosperity that causes societal destruction due to the greed of wealth in both the old money and new money class.
Wealth was a major theme in The Great Gatsby, which was divided into two classes, old money and new money. When we're talking about the old money class, we're referring to Tom and Daisy Buchanan. This class has been wealthy and prospering since birth due to their own advantages such as education. They have many social connections as they have always had the wealth passed down to them through generations, and life has always been easy for them. They are open and flashy about their money, and the money is a major security for them. Old money people usually marry within the old money class so that they can remain within that comfort.
In The Great Gatsby, money was the stimulus in many relationships. Daisy marries and stays with Tom because of the lifestyle and comfort he can provide her. Similarly, Gatsby is drawn towards Daisy because she's the golden girl. She is like the trophy he wants to win that will finally accept him into the wealthy class after his past of being poor and treated horribly by the wealthy people. Gatsby claims her voice is full of money. That was the inexhaustible charm that rose and fell in it, the jingle of it, the cymbal song of it. High in a white palace, the king's daughter, the golden girl. The golden girl symbolizes the golden ticket to finally have a secure place in the wealthy class. Tom and Daisy were not afraid to do anything, whether it was immoral or not, because they were born with the mindset that their wealth can cover up anything. Therefore, at the end of the book, after the murders, Tom and Daisy are not even worried about being caught that Daisy killed Myrtle because they know that they have the money to protect them. They were careless people, Tom and Daisy. They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money or their vast carelessness, or whatever it is that kept them together, and let other people clean up the mess they made. In Sugar Lumps and Ash Heaps, stored in Myrtle Wilson, the author states all of these people are culturally empty. Like Henry Adams, Eliot believed that every society needed some kind of mythic meaning to give it center and direction. An obsession for profit was not enough. The novel did not display romance or religion as it constantly surrounded by the motive of money. Why they came east, I don't know. They had spent a year in France for no particular reason and then drifted here, and they're unresentfully wherever people played polo and were rich together. Tom and Daisy were not together because of love, but because Tom viewed Daisy as a trophy that he did not want to lose, as well as Gatsby. On the other hand, Daisy saw Tom as a safe person to make sure she will always have a wealthy and comfortable life. There was no chemistry between them, as she did not even love the child that they both had together. Myrtle had an affair with Tom for the money and insight on the luxury life as well. Mrs. Wilson had changed her costume afternoon dress of and was now attired in an elaborate afternoon dress of cream-colored chiffon, which gave out a continual rustle as she swept the room. With the influence of the dress, her personality had also undergone a change. Myrtle tries desperately to maintain a facade of wealth and respectability. She believes she is playing the role of the great matron. Although Myrtle is not rich, she wants to feel the pampering of the roaring twenties that Tom can provide her with rather than her poor car mechanic husband, George Wilson. Daisy and Jordan lay upon an enormous couch like silver idols, weighing down their own white dresses against the singing breeze of the fans. Daisy and Jordan portrayed the American gold digger as Daisy married Tom for his wealth and was only attracted to Gatsby when she thought and when he was wealthy. Similarly, Jordan dated Nick as he had money, but he was a part of the West Egg, which was portrayed lower than the fancy East Egg. Oh, I'll stay in the East, don't worry, he said, glancing at Daisy and then back at me as if we were alert for something more. I'd be a goddamn fool to live anywhere else. She was appalled by West Egg, this unpredictable place that Broadway had begotten upon a Long Island fishing village. It is simply the badge of their superiority and the justification of their consuming snobberies. For those who are not very rich, for the Myrtle Wilsons as well as the J. Gatsby, it is the alchemic region that transmutes the ordinary worthlessness of life. These quotes all tie into how the West Egg was looked down upon by the East Egg due to East Egg's lavish lifestyle. Throughout the novel, everyone who was once poor, such as Gatsby, Myrtle, and George Wilson, ends up dying as the poor did not seem to have a purpose to life during the time period. All of these newly rich people are just bootleggers, you know. The newly rich were also known as the new money, who did not get the same respect as the old money, as many got their money illegally just to fulfill their American dream.
When we're talking about new money, we're referring to the individuals who prospered during the Roaring Twenties. In The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby is the main representation of the new money class. He made his fortune through bootlegging alcohol. He does not have the back of many people despite the extravagant parties he throws, since new money people did not get the same respect. This class is a representation of the American dream, demonstrating the ideology of rags to riches. There was nothing to look at from under the tree except Gatsby's enormous house, so I stared at it, like Kant at his church steeple, for half an hour. Shirts with stripes and scrolls and plaids and coral and apple green and lavender and faint orange, with monograms of Indian blue. Suddenly, with a strange sound, Daisy bent her head with the shirts and began to cry stormily. In the secondary source, The Greatness of Gatsby, the author states, Gatsby is going to achieve his ends through sheer materialistic means, though the power that he thinks he commands from his wealth. Daisy's materialistic love made her draw an attraction to Gatsby again when she found out that he was rich. Unfortunately, when she found out that he got the money illegally, her attraction faded away. I believe that on the first night I went to Gatsby's house, I was one of the few guests who had actually been invited. People were not invited, they went there. Gatsby was known for his enormous wealth, but everyone made rumors at his parties that he acquired it illegally, which made him looked down upon. Furthermore, he did not socialize with anyone at parties, as they were just a means to impress Daisy, the girl he was trying to pursue. He only invited Nick for his intention to be set up with Daisy through him. But all this part of it seemed remote and unessential. I found myself on Gatsby's side and alone. Correlating to this quote, in the secondary source, The Greatness of Gatsby, the author states, for a time, Gatsby's particular theology bears fruits, in that he is accepted by his followers and Daisy, but ultimately his congregation of partygoers desert him. Gatsby's abandonment is summed up by Nick at the funeral when he states, nobody came. Gatsby bought the house so that Daisy would be just across the bay. In correlation to this quote in the book, the secondary source Scott Fitzgerald's fable of East and West states, the thirst for money is a crucial motive in Gatsby as in Fitzgerald's other novels, and yet none of his major characters are materialists, for money is never their final goal. Though Daisy is not a material, Gatsby used materialistic items in order to impress her and show off his wealth. In The Great Gatsby, Scott Fitzgerald's intentions are to portray how the Roaring Twenties and economic prosperity changed life for the characters in the novel. He portrayed the old money class, like Tom and Daisy, as selfish because they were born into wealth and didn't understand what it feels like to be otherwise. Daisy, showing interest in Gatsby after realizing the wealth he had accumulated, demonstrates selfishness and greed when she quickly switches up on him upon realizing he did it by bootlegging alcohol. He portrayed the new money class as lonesome and unhappy with all accumulated wealth. Gatsby part of the new money class through extravagant parties which many people attended, but none of whom he had social connections with. Furthermore, his one goal was to pursue Daisy through wealth, but instead, he ended up passing away without pursuing her. Gatsby is essentially illustrating that the new money class did not prosper as much as they would have hoped, as their dreams based on wealth and the satisfaction of being rich could not buy them happiness.